And now, Daljit Dhaliwal.
Last fall, we devoted an entire programme to water scarcity and the link to conflict in East Africa. We're pleased to welcome back Pulitzer Centre-sponsored reporter Alex Stonehill. After attending the World Water Forum in Istanbul, Alex travelled to India to report on the growing sanitation problems there. Hello, Alex. Welcome back to the programme.
Thank you.
So let's start with your reporting from Lake Victoria, the Lake Victoria area of Africa. Can you give us any update on the drought conditions? Has anything changed?
Well, I think that the East African region got a bit of relief this last rainy season from the drought that had been going on for the last few years. But unfortunately, tensions have only increased around Lake Victoria. Specifically, my colleague Ernest Waititu has been reporting on the conflict between Kenya and Uganda over Mingingo Island, which is a tiny island that has a lot of fishing around it. And as the lake levels have fallen due to drought and dam construction in Uganda, the fishing stock has gone down and fishermen have come into conflict, and now the two governments of the two countries have sort of started disputing the territory and arguing over who really owns it and who owns the fishing rights there. So
they're disputing it rather than coming up with a regional framework or some kind of consensus on how to remedy the conflicts over Lake Victoria?
Well, there are efforts to do that on a larger scale around the entire Lake Victoria Nile Basin system. There is a Nile Basin Initiative effort that's basically to bring those countries together. I think that the parties are sort of trying to come to the table, but in the smaller scale, just between Kenya and Uganda, this very small island has become a huge issue.
And your reporting on water issues also took you to the World Water Forum in Istanbul. What were the key concerns that came up there?
Well, I mean, the World Water Forum is not just about dealing with the water crisis. Unfortunately, it's also about just water technology, sort of a showcase for water technology, and countries talking about water issues. But there was a lot of we did see a lot of really great people bringing really great water technologies that can be helpful in relieving the world water and sanitation crisis to the table and sort of exchange of those ideas. But as far as vast conclusions, I think the big conclusion is that there's just not enough resources being put towards water for the poor and sanitation for the poor in the world.
There's clearly a theme here because after Istanbul you travelled to India, which of course is dealing with, without success, I suppose, trying to get a handle on its water and sanitation issues. How did you frame your reporting there? Because you were in New Delhi, right?
Mm-hmm. I was in New Delhi, and basically I was focusing on the Yamuna River, which is the river that runs through New Delhi, and it's sort of the central sewage system for the city of New Delhi. Unfortunately, as the city grows, you go about a mile upriver from the city, and the Yamuna is this beautiful green river with people fishing on it. And then as soon as it enters the city, it's basically drained out to feed the city's water supply, and a few hundred yards further downriver, pumped back in essentially raw sewage. So it's definitely a body of water in crisis.
And what is behind the government's inability to provide the most basic services to its citizens?
Well, there's a couple of issues there. I mean, I do honestly believe that the government of Delhi is really trying. They've done a lot of things to put in, temporary sewers, and they've recently passed laws actually allowing them to serve illegal settlements, slums, with sewage technology, which they weren't allowed to do previously. So they're putting a lot of money into it and a lot of effort into it, but they just can't keep up with the level of population growth there. I mean, it's just staggering, And
Is there a sewer system to talk of?
There is, and actually, interestingly enough, it's in Calcutta, not New Delhi, but in India, they had the third modern sewage system in the world, built by the British in the Victorian era. So I think this isn't an issue of them, of a developing country just sort of catching up and developing to the model set by the U.S. or the U.K. or something like that. I think it's an issue of there's some solutions that don't work for a city like New Delhi that's just growing so fast and has so many poor people. I think you have to look for other methods.
Okay, well, we have a clip from your reporting in New Delhi, so let's just take a quick look at that.
Very simple. Your technology is very good. I don't disagree. But my problem is it available for all? If everybody in the US goes to a very clean toilet, does not make solution of the whole world's problem. Our concern is toilet for all. Is your technology going to touch even the poorest on the street anywhere in the world? No, but this can. So when one defecates in the seat, so the storm water and solid excreta, they come to one pit. The other is standby. When that pit is full, just stop this pit and open the standby pit. Again, that pit will take 2-3 years to be full. By that time, the waste in the first pit, the gases and water of the waste are sucked by the good earth. And whatever is left, that is pathogen free, bacteria free, no odor, no hatred. The user does not depend on any other outsider for cleaning it. With his own hand, he can clean the pit, throw it in your kitchen garden, and if you don't have any kitchen garden, then sell it out, and that pit is once again ready for recycling.
People implementing a technology like that for more than a small fraction of the population is very difficult. And right now, the Delhi government is mostly focused on maintaining this crippled sewer system.
Well, what do you think, Alex, is at stake for India's rapidly growing economy if the country doesn't get this right?
Well, I mean, there's definitely just the issue of having a nice city. They're supposed to be hosting the Commonwealth Games there in a few months, and supposed to be having rowing competitions on this river that's just filthy, bubbling with methane gas. So there's definitely just sort of modernization. I mean, and all these health issues. There's all sorts of health problems that result from a lack of proper sanitation, and people dying from it every day in Delhi and around the world.
Okay, Alex Stonehill, good to see you again. Thank you very much for coming back and talking to us about your assignment.
Thank you.